4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Jake Kubas' inspiring journey. Now he did okay last year. He still has he certainly needs some improvement. But this article I'm going to read. What we got? Bring back Odell. I'll tell you what. You bring back Odell, but you're going to be putting some fans in the stands for that. I'll tell you what. He's not the same guy as he was. That's for sure. But he will certainly sell some tickets. That's for darn sure. No question. Oh yeah. You get Odell on one side, and you get and you get Malik Neighbors on the other. Woo! Hey, that'd be great. All right. So with Jake Kubas, from small town to the NFL, his inspiring journey with the New York Giants. Jake Kubas is a prime example of how success in the NFL is achievable regardless of one's origin. The former Trinity Titans player made his mark by reaching pro football. Now let's not forget also, right? He was a walk-on at North Dakota State. Right? If he'd be half of what he was. Oh, yeah. If he'd be half, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be, yeah. Fans would be excited then. That's for sure. Without question. Without question. But with Kubas, he was a walk-on at North Dakota State. You just don't walk on at North Dakota State. I mean, they are, without question, a phenomenal organization as far as college football, right? And then, of course, making it to the NFL. We'll have to he's one of the guys we'll have to wind up seeing if he winds up making the 53 or not. But Jake Kubas is a prime example of how success in the NFL is achievable regardless of one's origin. His inspiring younger students at Trinity High School, and never before has anyone from his former school achieved this feat. It's been a long journey, hard journey, said Kubas. The small-town athlete's remarkable journey started as a walk-on player at North Dakota State. After 6 gritty years, the Trinity High grad signed for the New York Giants without being drafted. So he walked on at North Dakota State, right? And I'll tell you what, he did very, very well, especially his senior season. His overall grade was a 76.8, according to PFF. His pass block was a 79.5, and his run block was a 79.2. Now, once again, this is North Dakota State. They played Central Arkansas, Montana State, North Dakota, Western Illinois, Murray State, South Dakota State, Southern Illinois, Northern Iowa, Montana State, South Dakota, Montana. They played Maine. So we're not talking LSU, Michigan, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Florida. We're not talking the best of the best. But, he did pretty well. He did pretty darn well for himself. His second to last season, he graded out a 75.9. Yeah. So, he did pretty well for himself in North Dakota State. And he was a walk-on, right? Wasn't recruited at all. So after 6 gritty years, he signed for the New York Giants without being drafted. He earned his place on the 53-man roster. Wasn't even drafted. Went to North Dakota State with a walk-on, made the team. Wasn't drafted by the Giants, made the team. Right? Doesn't matter if you come from a town of 200 people, 20,000, or 100,000. You can achieve your dreams wherever you're at. They're going to find you if you put the work in, Kubas said. At the end of the day, I'm trying to represent this region and this community as best as I can. And to be able to do that at the highest level of football is very fun for me. The North Dakota walk-on encourages aspiring players to focus on skill development to outwork opponents. He emphasized that hard work and mastering technique are more important than size. Let's see, what's his? What do they got here? 6'4", 308 pounds. So I mean, 6'4", that's some nice height, right? 308 might be a little on the light side. You'd like maybe add another 10 to 15, maybe 20 pounds onto his frame. But 6'4" is not bad. The NFL certainly brings tough challenges. Nevertheless, his passion remains steadfast. When I'm playing football, I'm having so much fun. I just do some things that I don't even know what I'm trying to do. His story stands as a powerful symbol of perseverance and serves as motivation for athletes from small towns aiming for big dreams. Kubas is a prime example of how success in the NFL is achievable regardless of one's origin. The former Trinity Titans player made his mark by reaching pro football's top level with the Giants, inspiring younger students at Trinity High School. Never before has anyone from his former school achieved this feat. It's been a long, hard journey. The small-town athlete's remarkable journey started as a walk-on player at North Dakota State. North Dakota walk-on encourages aspiring players to focus on skill development, right? If you're willing to go to take on a guy that's bigger than you, but you have the better technique, and you're going to outwork him, you can win a lot of reps, and you can go a long way in this game, said Kubas. The NFL certainly brings tough challenges. Nevertheless, his passion remains steadfast. When I'm playing football, I'm having so much fun. I just keep saying the same thing over and over in this article. Same thing over and over and over. But so he's going to be one of those guys too. You have to keep an eye on if he makes the team. Give me like 40 catches, 505 touchdowns. I'll take. Kubas just needs to keep getting more. Yeah. I mean, from what I read, there was another article. I read it was a couple months ago. It seems like the team is kind of high on him. He let's say last season. I mean, I know his run blocking was not that bad. Let me go here. Where are we at here? His pass blocking had a little something to be desired. Let's see. Last season, his overall offensive grade was a 52. His pass block was a 39. His run blocking was a 67.2. But his pass block was a 39.2. So he certainly has some room. But he only played a grand total of 197 snaps. Right? He played one snap against Baltimore in Week 15. Right? But he played 29 snaps against New Orleans. In the last 3 weeks, he was the starter. He played against Atlanta. Against Atlanta, he graded out a 67 overall. Then in Week 17 against Indianapolis, he graded out a 51.9. Then against the Eagles, the Eagles are tough. He only graded out a 29.2. His pass block was a 38, so he obviously had some issues there. But he only played a grand total of 197 snaps last year. So he's graded out a 52. They do say, obviously, he didn't play that many snaps. So they usually say after your third season, that's pretty much about where your ceiling's going to be at. So if he makes the 53-man this year, or even the practice squad, does he get in some playing time? Does he keep ascending? Does he keep working on his technique, his skills, and all that? I think 308 pounds, you can certainly play in this league. That's for darn sure. But some guys, could use a little bit more weight. Help him out a little bit, a little more strength, a little more weight. But he's going to be one of those guys to keep an eye on. But I do know I remember reading an article last season that, or not last season, maybe it was a few months ago, that said that the Giants' front office was kind of high on him. So maybe he might be one of the young lads. Let's see, how old is he? Because he did play a lot of years at college. They have sometimes they don't have his date of birth. Jeez, I can figure it out, but so he'll be one of those interesting guys to see if he winds up making the team. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 50 minutes. Jay Sports Cards. Thanks for hanging out with me, brother. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for keeping me up. Here it is, almost 1:30 in the morning. So it's nice answering some questions sometimes. Actually helps keep me awake.